Hello and welcome back to another episode. Today we're... Jesus! Who are you? I'm you. Yeah, I get it. You're me. But... what do you want? Did you tell them? What do you mean, have I told them yet? You at least thanked them, right? I need more context. What do you mean by tell them thank you? About getting 1,000 subscribers. Yes. I was getting to that, but you interrupted. Would you like to tell them? I mean, you could tell them unless you want me to tell them. Well, I think you kind of already have. Oh, come on. You've got to thank them at every milestone. Come on. I mean, you've got to get on. You've got to talk to them. You've got to tell them the things that are going on about the channel. You've got to be consistent. I mean, dude, you've been so inconsistent. It's like, okay, fine. I'll tell them. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry about him. He's me, and he's really obnoxious. I wouldn't say that. I apologize for that. I'm getting to it. Okay, all right. I'm gonna leave. Oh, done. Fine. You do you. Fine. I feel like I need to apologize for you. So just again, sorry. Thank you. But no, he's actually right. I do want to thank you. We hit 1,000 subscribers. Actually, a little bit more than that since the recording of this, but that was one of my goals for this year, was to hit 1,000 subscribers. The next goal is a little bit tougher, and I'm not begging you or asking you, but I am asking you. The next goal is to hit the monetization goal of 4,000 watch hours. So if you could help me do that, I would greatly appreciate it. And I think this is going to be the year that we do it. So like, share, subscribe with all of your friends and family that would be interested in this. So again, thank you all. And now it's time to get on with the rest of the video. And today we're going to be discussing whether or not smoking your whiskey is better than not smoking your whiskey, and kind of what I think about smoked whiskey. I think we've probably all had a smoked cocktail from time to time. I know I've had a smoky old-fashioned before, and well, they're phenomenal. And I really do like them. But we're talking about strictly a straight bourbon, well, not straight because it's going to be over ice, but a whiskey over ice that has been smoked. So we'll do a little comparison between a non-smoked and a smoked with my smoker. And this was made by a friend of mine. Again, this is one I've talked about before. They have it's a local business, Tiny Mountain Workshop. And I'll link them down in the description below. And you can check out the kind of things that they can do for you. And if you look, yeah, they even laser etched it for me. Put long ashes in full glasses. That was kind of a Father's Day gift last year that my wife hooked up with them for, and they made it for me, along with some other things. So we're going to be using this today, and now I need to pick out a bourbon. So I think we're just going to go with something fairly simple, very common, and I think Elijah Craig's going to be the pick for today. And there's probably going to be some others that we might try somewhere down the future to see if there's a difference between them. But I think that's probably the easiest to go with because it's readily available. Most everybody I know likes it. It's got some pretty high standards, or it's got some pretty high approvals, at least, you know. And we're just going to go with the standard off-the-shelf $24, $25 version of Elijah Craig, their small batch, I think is what it is. So I'll grab that and we'll start smoking this thing up. So as just a little warm up, we're going to go ahead and pour an Elijah Craig over ice, because what they suggest is there's a couple ways to do it to smoke your whiskey. First being, you can smoke the glass before you pour anything into it, or smoke it once you got ice in it, or even a third, I guess, smoke it once you've got your ice and whiskey. But the majority of the time they suggest smoking it with ice. The reason why, from what I understand, is that the smoke will permeate the ice and hold that smoke flavor a lot more. So then you'll get that throughout, and as that ice melts, that will give you more of the flavor released into your whiskey itself. They also suggest maybe smoking it twice. So you'll smoke it before you've got ice or with the ice, and then again once you've poured the bourbon in, or whiskey, whatever it might be. But as kind of a baseline, let's get back into a little bit of Elijah Craig and kind of reacquaint my palate, so to speak. That's always good. Oh, that's really sweet tonight. It's been a while since I've had Elijah Craig. I mean, not a long time, but you know, had some other ones since the last time, so it's nice to become reacquainted with an old friend. So what we're gonna do is show you with another glass. Let's get some of that water out of there. And these are just some ice balls that I made up. And using your smoker, there's a lot of different designs out there. This just happens to be Tiny Mountain's design, which is a common one. It's just a blank of wood, nicely cut out and finished very nicely, with a hole in the center and then a screen. And some of them have removable screens, so you can, once they wear out, you can replace them. I'm sure I can replace this one if need be at some point. But your wood chips will go in that hole, and you light it on fire on top of your glass. It's pretty simple. I mean, don't get much more simple than that. Now, the one thing that I've researched on is they say that less is more on the wood chips and getting a nice smoke on them. And then just letting it fill the whole glass, let it sit and rest for a little bit, and then pour in your whiskey or bourbon, or I suppose you could smoke other spirits as well, so that it gets the full experience of it. So I've got a little bit of wood chips here. This also came with the smoker, and there's a lot of versions that you can get. Some come with multiple different kinds of chips, and even the lighter or something similar to what I'm going to be using, all within a kit. Some of these can be very inexpensive to very expensive. I've seen them range from $20 all the way up to a couple $100 for some ones that include a lot more. There's also ones that are glass that go over it that are really super fancy and just a bit of overkill in my opinion. I'm kind of a simple-minded man, so best to keep it simple as possible. But anyway, I digress. So we're just going to take just a little bit and put in. And yes, I know what that looks like. I was a child of the 80s, so I totally understand what that looks like. But we'll get that down in there. And take a butane lighter. This one I think I picked up for like $7 at Walmart. They're readily available, they're inexpensive. Some that you get come in your kit. So it's not impossible to find these, and they're useful for other things as well. I light my smoker with this most of the time. I mean, if you can't find this, then I'll use my Zippo, but you know. So taking it and lighting it. See how that fills up the glass? Oh, I'll show you here. Oh, come on, how cool is that? How cool is that? And it actually stays in the glass pretty well. Next, we'll go ahead and pour a little bit in, and we'll give it a try and we'll compare. You can definitely smell it. It's almost kind of gives me that smell you get from when you're using your smoker. I'm pretty sure that most of you probably have one and know what that smells like, so that's going to be pretty good. Let's give it a try. There's a little bit of smokiness. Not really what I would say is infused, but there's a little bit. So let's go ahead and try a little bit more on top of that and see if we can get this to really pop with some smoke flavor. Seeing that go on the glass is so cool. Look at that. Oh, that is so cool. Yep, a lot more of the smoke smell, the aroma. There, we're getting the smokiness. Although I wouldn't say that I would do this all the time. I've got to be honest with you. It's a really cool idea. I like the idea. But I gotta say, I think I would stick with, at least with Elijah Craig. Maybe some other whiskeys or bourbons. This might be, this might add more to it. But I don't know, it's just not, it's just not it's just not the smokiness I was expecting from it. I was expecting almost an overpowering Scotch-like smoke. But not really like Isla smoke, because Islas are really, yeah, they can be overpowering. But let's go back to this. Oh, I don't know. I think maybe it sweetened it up a little bit more. Oh, no. There's the smoke. Oh, it had to rest a little bit. Whoa. It's quite a bit. It's not bad. I do think that I like it without better, though. Now, if I was doing a cocktail, Manhattan, a old-fashioned, then I would say, yeah, I would definitely use that smoker. But if I'm just gonna sit and enjoy a bourbon one night, you know, with dinner, or, well, maybe with dinner, depending on what I had, I would use it. But yeah, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I'm grateful for it. I think it's great. I'll definitely use it again. But I'm not sure that just on a regular night that I would take the time to do it. It's not that it takes a lot of time, but I just don't know. Yeah, I do like it, but I won't use it all the time. And you know, this one was $20, so you know, that's not bad. And it came with the wood chips. And I'm sure if you contact them and ask them about it, they can send you out, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 maybe. I'm so glad I do have one. So if you don't have one, I would definitely pick one up. So definitely check down in the descriptions for that link, so that if there's something you want, they can really get you hooked up. And that even came on here for free. So let them know what you want it to say, and logo, say you're a football fan of some kind, basketball fan. I'm sure they could put the logo on there for you or whatever, but you'd have to talk to them first. There might be a few things that they won't put on there, but I do think it's a great idea. It's not something I'm going to use all the time. I think you ought to have one. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to call it a day here. I want to thank each and every one of you again for getting me up to over 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate it, and I want to tell you thank you, and long ashes and full glasses to each and every one of you, and we'll see you in the next video. Elijah Craig. For $24, how can you go wrong with this stuff? This stuff's amazing. If you don't have this, you have to. You need to. It's a standard on my shelf. Our Bourbon Club, it's a standard there too. Now I got 2 of these glasses I got to finish. See what I do for you? It's not like you're twisting my arm, of course, but you know. All right, thanks. See ya. Bye.